Over 1 million people have been certified with HubSpot Academy, and they can use those certifications for college credit. We are bringing equity to the market to make sure everyone has the opportunity to learn.
I want to start with some of the massive impact your programs at HubSpot are having. I have heard 950,000 users, 200,000 people have gotten certified. And personally, I know several people from my network who were able to land their dream job or get into the workforce because they had a HubSpot certification.
Yeah.
So tell me.
I love when we start with that because that's so much of the purpose of the team, which is we want to give people opportunities to get started with their career, jumpstart it, accelerate, or go back to careers that they didn't have before, right? So many of our, certified learners I was in sales and then, I really liked marketing. So I took your cert and I switched careers in and shifted gears. And so today, a few of the things that we pull out is 500,000 people are certified right now actively in HubSpot Academy. That is close to over 1 million people who have ever been certified with HubSpot Academy. And that also is inclusive of HubSpot customers, partners, users, and students in the classroom. HubSpot Academy certs are taught in the classroom at universities around the world, and they can use those certifications for college credit. So if they're certified, they can get credit with their university, and which honestly also helps the price of college, right, for some of those folks, which is amazing. All of that aside, HubSpot also sees a ton of value from those certifications, from that learning, from the platform, getting people started. Our sales team uses it, getting people excited during that sales process, and our customers use it day to day, learn about the software, the products. HubSpot's changing every day. And so to keep up with all of that is a lot.
It's a lot of effort for all of those different audiences. It's super great that you've got this really flexible content strategy that's able to meet people no matter where they are. And I appreciate that that's been a real source of product adoption, customer engagement, partner engagement from a business perspective. But I'm also curious, in your role as a director of the Academy, I'm thinking about what you talked about with those students and the education industry in general. And I'm curious, are you noticing that the amazing stuff that private sector companies are doing, like HubSpot, and changing the way education is consumed, the way that people navigate and deal with it? What does that mean for educational institution? Is it rendering them a bit obsolete potentially?
It's such a great question. And the way I love to answer it is learning is learning. If you can get your hands on it, do it. Whatever that looks like. If that's in higher ed, if that's a high school program, learning is such an important element of everyone's day-to-day lives. What we really focus on is not everyone has access to the types of educational institutes that a lot of businesses for a long time deemed the good ones or what they wanted to see on a resume. And what we're trying to help and collaborate with those universities on is, can we fill the gaps? Hey, University X, you're not going to be able to invest in a large scale marketing program or digital marketing. Let us take care of that. And you really focus your curriculum on these other elements.
So how do you navigate that slow moving, for lack of a better term, really rigid educational infrastructure with this fast paced SaaS company that wants to infuse all this new curriculum? Have you learned any lessons from navigating that total juxtaposition between orgs?
A ton. The Education Partner Program, which is the official title of the program we use with universities, has been around for the last couple of years, and we really work with the professors, the ones that are doing the teaching themselves. And that's usually our window in. We work with them, we bring them into our education as well. You'll see them in Academy certs and Academy courses, and then they teach it in their classroom, and their students are like, oh my goodness, my professor's cool, for lack of a better term, right? They're in this high profile, high, moving company, and we're partnering with them. One of the other learnings too is higher ed has still so much value from a social element, right? We're not replacing going to a classroom, going to a campus and learning about what it's like to live with other people, live in a dorm room. We're not trying to make that obsolete. That's not what we're in the business for. What we want to make sure is for the student who can't do that, they still have the same equitable experience in getting the education that's going to get them ahead. And students who went to college later on in life, right? A lot of our students that go through certifications are not the early 20s. Oh, I'm right now in the mix. They're on their third, fourth career, and they're just trying to keep pace. And that's what we really want to target with those universities.
Well, even just in the field of marketing, I think back to early 2010s when digital marketing was starting to be a craft, especially a lot of legacy companies. And I think about those folks that now need to reinvest in their skills.
Yes. And that's also, outside of the universities, one of the things that we've really targeted is those companies of like, get everyone at your company certified. We, in April, had our World Certification Week.
That's right, yeah.
It's the 5th time that we have done that. And the target of that is, spend a week learning. It started out as a day, and then we're like, well, we actually have too many certifications for that. So let's start with a week.
Okay.
And hopefully one day it'll be 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month of getting folks to dedicate that time to learning. There's a charitable component, right? For everyone who gets certified that week, we donate $5 to organizations that are focused on getting kids in particularly underrepresented groups access to education, whether in the United States, in the global South, and across Europe and Asia. And so there's that component, but then it's also, you might have fallen behind a little bit with some of sales skills, digital marketing. Use this week as a company to bring that back and do it in a way that's fun. We love to say people who learn together grow together. And that's such a core component of HubSpot Academy.
I love that you're thinking across the world, you're thinking about different companies and that learn together. Do you find that people are creating community and relationships, even if they're from different companies, through things like Certification Week?
100%. It's all over LinkedIn. People are like, I got certified in this, and someone's congratulating them and is like, oh, so did I. We should talk. And we've been using like our online platforms like community.com and connect.com to facilitate that, but it happens really naturally. You see it on LinkedIn. You even see it in person sometimes.
Okay.
People will have HubSpot Academy stickers, and we give them badges for World Cert Week. And I've been there when 2 people are like, oh, I got certified. You did too? Oh my goodness. Like, let's be friends. And it's a little bit to go back to that university analogy of when you meet someone who also went to your undergrad, or they were in your MBA program, or you took one class one time with them. You have a bond.
You do, yeah.
You learn something similar at the same time, and you both had different experiences with it. And that's what I love about that social learning element.
It's so powerful. I think the social learning, it reinforces memory. There's an element of learning. You cannot be learning unless you're open to being vulnerable. And that like shared vulnerability as 2 humans trying to figure something out together is super bonding and tight.
And that's also the bond that the learners have with our inbound professors, the people who are teaching those certifications and those courses. They go out in the world and like, I want to meet Kyle Jepsen. I want to connect with Jory or Adrithi. I want to meet Juanita in person. And when they do, it is this immediate, I've learned so much from you. You've changed the way that I think about my job. And that isn't something you get when you don't have passionate educators involved. Our inbound professors want to be there for you. They want to connect with you on LinkedIn and hear about your success.
I appreciate you sharing, and shout out to all of those professors that Courtney just called out. Clearly you're doing killer work.